I call David Bennett.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. We're coming to the end of the debate on the Employment Relations Film Production and Work Amendment Bill, and during the debates we've had on this bill, it's been a lot of toing and froing from especially from the opposition, trying to put a slant and a different approach and definition of the history of the matters and the events that took place in regard to this bill and regard to the Hobbit film being filmed in New Zealand. This bill, yeah. And if we look at it in the context of what simply happened, it was that it was a situation where the union, in this case an Australian union, went too far. They got to a situation where they jeopardised the production of the film. It was going to be lost to this country and lost to the film industry in New Zealand. In the end of the day, the government came forward and found a solution. John Key and his team negotiated and delivered a binding deal, which will actually mean that The Hobbit is in New Zealand and actually will mean that we retain our position as a filmmaker in an international perspective. Because if we had lost this film, it would have put that whole industry in a very delicate position. The Labour Party has attempted through this debate to rewrite history and say that it's a matter of sovereignty and it's selling out to overseas interests and all those things, which are simply not true. That's just, okay, it's the Labour and the Green Party, but it's simply not true. And it is simply not true. The reality is that this bill is to save the industry, it's to save jobs, it's to promote New Zealand, and it's to deliver that brighter future for New Zealand that people wanted, not what Labour would have done to the film industry, because Labour had no intention of this film going ahead. They didn't want this film to go ahead. They didn't. They would rather see this film not go ahead and New Zealanders suffer for the prospect of making political capital. That's how the Labour Party works. And the National Party doesn't work that way. We go out there and we deliver solutions that actually provide a solution to this case. And that is what has happened here. And no matter of what kind of slant they could put onto these facts, those are the facts of the case. And the New Zealand public will judge that, and they have judged it, and they have said that they are very, very happy to see this film be in New Zealand, and they're very supportive of the government of what they've done, and it's important that we pass this bill through the House so that we can actually make that a reality, and so we can deliver this film to New Zealanders and not let the Labour Party put its slant on it.
Point of order. The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Colleague, under Standing Order 106 on misrepresentation, although it's not possible to interrupt another member's speech to explain a misunderstanding or misrepresentation following the conclusion of the speech, a member may clarify a point. And certainly, sir, it is a complete misrepresentation to say that Labour did not want to see The Hobbit filmed in New Zealand. Labour speakers have successively made that patently clear, and Labour's policy would have been to get the film made here. We would not, however, have used the craven means of the government.
Order. Just say to the member that it's a point of order to raise that. If the member wants to make a point, it should be succinct and pithy. The member was starting to expand on making it as a speech. The point's well made.